Hi everyone, this is our Capstone project. Our e-patient is Michael Mittelman, and here are our team members: Isaac, Annabelle, Dia, Lucas, John, and Jenny.
Michael is currently living with his third kidney transplant and also manages Crohn's colitis, epilepsy, rosacea, seborrheic dermatitis, and joint issues. His rare kidney disease, FSGS, led to 2 rounds of dialysis, once as a child and again as a young adult, and he now sees multiple specialists and takes several medications. He lives a fairly normal life but is very careful about germs, especially since COVID-19. Life with the transplant has been much better, especially when compared to being on dialysis. Although he's always followed a low salt diet, Crohn's has placed even more restrictions on what he can eat. He was diagnosed about 4 years ago, and the process took longer than it should have. Like many transplant patients, he has experienced being treated differently in the healthcare system.
Let's take a moment to understand what this patient is going through on a daily basis. First, there are frustrations within the healthcare system. Diagnoses were delayed, there's no in home support, and the care often feels impersonal, like no one genuinely cares about his health. There are social challenges to this as well. Once people find out about the health issues, they tend to back off or make assumptions, which adds to the isolation he's feeling. And this makes dating hard for Michael. Furthermore, Michael is managing multiple health conditions like kidney transplant, Crohn's disease, and chronic joint pain. These aren't isolated issues as they overlap and make each other harder to manage. On a daily level, even small things are tough. Light sensitivity, medication side effects, and confusing lab schedules that aren't clearly communicated. Emotionally, it adds up. Michael's not just asking for better care, he's asking to be seen as a whole person, not just a list of symptoms.
We came up with 3 how might we questions that address some of Michael's issues we discussed. One was, how might we support Michael's mobility and reduce joint pain from long-term treatment? Another was, how might we help Michael manage lab appointments so delays and confusions don't affect his care? And the last one was, how might we make lab work easier when traveling is tiring and risky? This slide shows 3 initial prototypes that we explored based on our how might we's in the previous slide. First, the physical solution. We have a knee exoskeleton designed to reduce strain on his joints and help with mobility, especially important given the joint pain that he experiences daily. Second, the surrogate solution. In-home blood tests. This idea came from understanding how physically draining and logistically complex it is for him to travel for lab work. And third, the digital solution, a lab tracking app. This would help Michael keep track of his upcoming labs, prepare properly, and stay organized, all areas he identifies as stressful and confusing in his current care routine.
He brought up an important issue: dialysis access. He mentioned that vascular access is one of the hardest problems in the dialysis community. He tried multiple access points over the years, including through his chest, a graft, and a Gore-Tex tube in his arm, which hasn't worked well due to frequent clotting. He encouraged us to consider a second solution focused on dialysis access and also mentioned that his ankles needed more support. He suggested the idea of 2 separate braces. While he was interested in both directions, we ultimately decided, given the time we had, to move forward with enhancing the physical solution. That included adapting our current design to better support his ankles while still addressing his mobility needs.
Based on Michael's feedback and what was practical to develop within our scope, we focused on a motor-assisted knee support exoskeleton to help with mobility and joint pain. It was a good fit because it addresses a key concern for him, is achievable within our time frame, and has the potential for real daily impact. Now, I'll walk you through how the exoskeleton works. The electrically powered knee brace exoskeleton straps securely to the thigh and calf with soft cushions for comfort and stability. A brushless motor at the knee joint provides mechanical assistance, while built-in sensors track flexion angles in real time. An onboard computer processes movement and activates the motor to reduce joint pain and pressure and assist in mobility. A mode button lets users select optimized support for different activities such as walking, running, hiking, or daily city use. The battery powers the system and includes a charge level indicator. The design would help Michael move more comfortably by supporting mobility and easing joint stress, especially during his daily routine. Moving forward, if we continue to develop the exoskeleton, we'd focus on improving comfort, adjustability, and motor responsiveness while testing lightweight materials for everyday use. We'd also document our progress to share with potential collaborators. While our main focus was mobility support, we also wanted to acknowledge Michael's broader concerns, particularly around dialysis access. As an early step, we sketched a rough concept for a needle-free, pin-based connector that could potentially make dialysis safer and less painful. All right, with that, we have covered our current work and solutions. Thank you for listening.